is literally the hardest shit ever. Like, you cannot do anything. I literally got like one side of my weights racked at the gym because I tried to work out, and they're calling me over the intercom to come get him literally after 5 minutes because he don't want to be with anybody but me because I'm the only person with him. But you literally just can't do anything. I'm literally so exhausted from work like 90% of the time, so I don't ever get to do like a good like real workout. And I got up trying to do a workout this evening, and he don't even want to go to the kids club. This is like the 3rd time I've tried to take him. He does not like to be with strangers, so it just makes it hard because I can't do anything. The only time I have help is when I'm working, but I can't ever do anything for myself. And the other parent just gets to do whatever they want. Literally whatever. You can go hang out with your friends. You can work out. You can complain about how tired you are. But really, like, look at my life. Like, look what I have to do every single day. I hate even complaining about this because my mom helps me a lot. And I have a nanny for my son twice a week. But that's while I'm working. I'm working 24/7. As an entrepreneur, my brain is in work mode 24/7. And I only have physical help while I'm working. And so it just makes it difficult whenever I need to do things for myself. Like, my nails are down to the nubs. My toes are a whole different story. Because it's like, when do I have the time? Where's the time to go and do that? Like, I don't have anybody to keep him for me to go sit and get my nails done for an hour. I join a gym with childcare, and he doesn't want to go to the childcare because he doesn't like strangers. I can't do work from home because if I look down for 2 seconds, he's climbed up on my kitchen island. And then you got to deal with the other party complaining that you're not being nice to them. And cleaning, just cleaning all day, every day. That's literally my life. I needed to let that cry out. It's been a little minute since I've cried. I feel like I've just been so numb to all emotion that I just haven't cried. So that did make me feel a little bit better, but it's been rough recently, and he does not want anybody but me, which I love. My mama heart loves it, but my Caitlin heart, myself, wishes that he could be okay with the childcare so that I could get a workout in. My son is 17 months old, and this has by far been the hardest stage of all of it. Hi baby, the sweetest, but definitely the hardest, and I'm acquiring a lot of mental strength throughout this, but sometimes you just have a little breakdown. Yeah, it's a lot. We're gonna figure it out. This is embarrassing. I'll probably delete this later.
This comment is so true. It does not help to be told that you're not missing out on anything if you've never had a relationship or been in love. It doesn't help. And that second piece, I can have all the self-love in the world. I can be content with myself, but that doesn't give me a person sitting on the couch next to me, or a hand to hold, or a million other little things that come as a result of a relationship. I've also noticed, as I've been talking about this topic, that people tend to also say, like, well, you're not missing anything because all I've had is bad relationships. And I want to tell those people, I am so sorry that all you've had is bad relationships. I truly am. That has got to be so painful. And I don't know how that feels. But I think we do a disservice to ourselves and other people when we take our experience and make it the whole experience. And I think we tend to do that with a lot of things. I mean, I'm guilty of this in the past as well, is this idea that just because I might not feel a certain way about something, or I might feel a certain way about something, I then make it so that everybody else does as well, or everybody else wouldn't feel a certain way as well. There's so much complexity to being a human being on this planet, that just because I haven't experienced something, just because I have experienced something and it's been difficult, doesn't mean that everyone who goes into that situation is going to be difficult. Just because your relationships or the relationships you've seen around you have been traumatic or difficult doesn't mean that there isn't truly love out there. And I think that's just such a hard component for us to understand. And the other thing that I've heard a lot, and I got a lot kind of on some of these posts, is that the sense that like I'm naive, that I'm naive to the difficulties that could come in a relationship just because I've never experienced them. And that is so not true. I'm not naive to what I'm saying that I'm wishing for. I'm just saying that like, I want the chance. Just give me a chance. But then at the same time, here it is. Then at the same time, because I haven't had it for so long, now I'm like terrified of potentially putting myself out there because I've gone through so much trauma in my life that, anyway, okay, all right. So I guess I'll just say like, I'm on a journey. Maybe I'll put myself out there again. The last time I did, my crazy ex-therapist was the one creating a dating profile for me. So maybe I'll put myself out there, maybe I won't. I don't know. Anyway, have a good day.
Y'all, when women get rejected, oh, it's deep. I don't know what it is, but we do not handle it well. Actually, I do know what it is, and I'm going to tell you in this video. Women desire to be desired, okay? That is something you're going to see in every woman. She wants to be desired. Some people allow their desire to run them. Some people can harness their desire, but all women deep down want to be desired. And so when she's not desired or does not feel desirable, she takes that internally. I mean, it makes her sad. It can cause depression. It can cause anxiety. It can cause you to feel like you're not good enough. It can cause hopelessness. I mean, it gets very deep. Because of that, I think a lot of women don't put themselves out there. I think it boils down to one simple thing. That as women, we have to accept that looks matter. And we can fight it, we can argue it, but looks matter. And when a man's not attracted to us, it hits deep. Because most men are rejecting you because they're not attracted to you.
Rejection story time. This is a story of a guy who walked out on me on a first date. If you don't know me, I'm Annie, and I'm single. So I met this guy on Bumble. Wait. My friend told me that I have to be doing an activity during a story time because people need to stay to the end. So I'm gonna draw you. And you might be thinking, but I don't know what you look like. Listen, I'm a professional. Don't you worry. God, this is looking so good. Back to the story. So I matched with a guy on Bumble. We set up a date, pretty standard stuff, and I'm getting ready for this date. And I was really insecure about my smile lines around that time, as I think a lot of women are. So I bought a product on Amazon to help me with that. They were suction cup wrinkle reducers. Why is this important? It's important. Right before I get ready for my date, I use these suction cup things. Basically just like run them over your wrinkles, and it's supposed to smooth them out. I didn't really think it made a difference, but whatever. And then I put on my makeup, got dressed, and left. This is when it gets fun. So I walk into the restaurant, and I see the guy. And I'm like, hey, Jonathan. And when he turns and looks at me, he looks a little off. Like his facial expression when he sees me. But I was really feeling myself. I was wearing a really nice outfit. I spent extra time on my eyeliner. I thought he was just stunned by my beauty. He is so awkward while we wait for our table. He is avoiding eye contact with me. But it's a first date, right? So I'm like, it's a little awkward. We go sit down at the table. We talk a little bit. We order some drinks. And he's still weird. Oh, I forgot about drawing you. You're looking beautiful, darling. Anyway, so I excuse myself to use the restroom when I'm done with my drink. Go into a stall, do my business, come out to the stall, wash my hands, look up into the mirror. And what do I see in the mirror? Do I see a beautiful woman sparkling back at me? No. You see those suction cups that I bought? They left bruises all over my face where I used them. Here. I essentially had a bruised mustache and goatee. When I go back out to the table, realizing why this man has been avoiding looking at me, he's gone. And the manager of the restaurant walks up to me and tells me that he left and that he only paid for his portion of the tab. For anyone who thinks I'm lying, I'm not. If you're a man, what would you have done? And friends have told me that he probably didn't say anything because he thought it was birthmarks. Oh yeah, you stayed to the end. I have no talent.
Why get a divorce after 25 years of marriage? The short answer is because it is not too late to be happy. And I finally got to a point at the beginning of the year where I decided that it wasn't too late to be happy. I still have, hopefully, many more years left, and I would like to be happy for those years. And that was never going to happen inside my current marriage. No matter how many wonderful people, supportive people, positive people you surround yourself with, it will never have as much of an impact if you have toxic people in your home. And the two most toxic people in my life, two most toxic adults in my life, live in my home with me right now. And my husband was definitely someone that sabotaged all of my efforts to try and get healthy, to try and feel better, to be more successful, to be happy. I don't know whether it was intentional or not, and it really doesn't matter at this point. I want to be happy. I want to be hopeful. I want to surround myself with people and experiences and success and love and peace that I will never be able to find if I stay married. And so we're getting a divorce, and the best way I can really describe that experience of 25 years, it's like climbing or riding in a roller coaster to the highest peak. And it's just one click at a time, one thing at a time. And then you finally get to the top, and that's the tipping point. There is no going back. There's nothing to fix, no desire anymore to try and fix things. You've already put in that effort, and it's a free fall to a new life and new experiences. And I am so looking forward to those. And so today I am really grateful for the new experiences I am about to have, because I am going to be able to surround myself with wonderful people and amazing experiences. So please tell me what you are grateful for today.
I don't know what I love you is supposed to mean anymore, but I know it doesn't erase lying. It doesn't erase stealing. It doesn't erase unfaithfulness. It doesn't erase coercion. I love you doesn't erase guilt. I love you doesn't erase being ignored when you are begging for help. I love you doesn't fix anything. I love you doesn't mean I should stay. I love you means something ugly now.
I'm having a much better day today, so we're gonna have a real conversation about the very vulnerable video I just posted yesterday of me crying in my car because my son would not let me work out. I truthfully just can't even give the men the attention that they're seeking, because I'm just blocking every man that comments on that video because they're just talking about that stupid single mom song, which I don't think is funny at all. I don't think making fun of somebody who's trying to raise a child, who's trying to raise the next generation, I don't think making fun of somebody who's struggling is funny. Like, that's not okay. That's not funny. Y'all are being bullies and you're being very immature, and that's not manly of you. That's very, very weak. So y'all don't even deserve my energy, but that's the only thing I wanted to say about the men who want to shame somebody who's actually struggling. And a general message to the ones who have the mindset of, you laid down with this man, you chose this, get married first, stop complaining, we all have to be a parent. Where is, like, we're in such a me society. Like, y'all literally only care about yourselves. You have no empathy for somebody who's struggling. And I guarantee there's areas of your life that you're struggling, but it's just different. We all struggle differently. And obviously I parent every single day, and I parent very well for my son to be so attached to me. And there was a lot of people saying things also that, like, okay, you don't see my page. All you see is a video of me crying about being a single mom. You don't know my life. You don't know the things that I've actually shared with my community and my audience on here, which is understandable, but let me enlighten you. I lived at my parents' house for the first like 10 months of my son's life, so he has been around men. He is very, very comfortable and absolutely loves my younger brother and my dad. He's obsessed with them, and he's also with my mom 3 days a week. She keeps him while I work. I own my own business. I'm a personal trainer, so I am waking up at 4:45 every day to drop Maverick off either with his nanny or with my mom, and then I get to the gym for my first client at 6:30, and it is now 10:38, and I'm leaving the gym to go walk my dog and feed my dog. And then I also have 75 online clients that I have to check in with, check their stats, check their workouts, and do programming for. So I'm working usually until I go pick my son up. I pick my son up at 1 o'clock. I also do content creation. So in between all of this, and then after I pick my son up, I am editing, I am filming, which I'm not complaining about because I've never complained about my job. Love my job so much. It's mentally taxing also being a mother. And then I also have a dog too, like I said. So my days are just super slam packed most of the time, usually until I put him to bed, and then I do a couple more hours of work, clean up around the house, and then go from there. Get home gym equipment. Yes, I have 2 sets of dumbbells, a little ab machine, and resistance bands that are actually my own brand of resistance bands because, again, I am a personal trainer. So I do very much know, and also in my fitness app, I have several categories and programs dedicated to mothers that cannot make it to the gym because obviously that is my life.
I'm just not strong enough to fight this one by myself. I don't know what to do. I was doing so good. And today, I just feel crushed.
Guys get friend-zoned, but girls get fuck-zoned. A boy stops talking to us suddenly after he gets a girlfriend, or starts ghosting us after we reject his first move. A friendship that we valued, we thought mattered, if only just a little to him, turned out not to matter at all. But in the end, we're the bad guys. We're the ones who lead the good guys on. Of course, we should just expect that's what you always want. We should just expect that friendship is never as valuable as a twist of our hand. They got friend-zoned. They only lost another girl, another rejection. But we lost a friend.
A man should not feel bad about ending a friendship after he has expressed romantic feelings for you and you don't feel the same, which is okay. Like, if you don't feel the same, you don't feel the same. But that does not mean that that man does not value friendship from females. No, because that man, he probably has enough friends. He's not looking to gain another friend. He's looking for his soulmate. A man should not be shamed when he does not want to put in the energy and effort into another friendship.
So I'm going through a divorce after a 25-year marriage. Never been through a divorce before. And I have a question. I'm really curious. So he is telling people that I kicked him out of the house. And it just seems to me that there was no way that we were going to continue living together. It was becoming more and more like verbally hostile, not cruel, but hostile. It was definitely tense. We have a child who could definitely sense that things were tense, and mom and dad were more angry than usual, or short-tempered maybe is a better word. And so now, we had talked. He knew that we were going to get a divorce for 2 or 3 months. Then I filed for divorce. He stayed for about 4 weeks after filing, and then moved out. And I'm just curious, how many people stay together through the divorce process until the divorce is final? Because I just couldn't imagine living in the same house with him for I mean, the minimum here is 90 days. If it took longer, I can't imagine. So how many of you that have been through divorce stayed in the same house with your spouse until the divorce process was over? In a video I posted a couple of days ago, I asked the question as to whether or not divorcing couples live together through the divorce process, or one or both parties leaves the residence. And many of you answered that question, and I really appreciate that. There are also a lot of people upset with me for me not leaving the home if I was that unhappy, and saying things along the lines that my soon-to-be ex, is the one getting screwed over in all of this, and that I'm taking everything. That is absolutely not the case. It's a 50-50 split, and it's an amicable divorce. We're not fighting. And he and I both agreed together that it was important for our son to stay in this home and stay with me. My soon-to-be ex did not want to take my son. He did not want to be the one to stay and finish raising our son. So it's not unfair. And my son has had enough disruption in his life. He lived in just as much of a toxic environment as I did, and he underwent some trauma about 4 years ago. And so it was important for my soon-to-be ex and I that he have the consistency of staying in this home and not being forced to move and not being forced to change schools. I would have preferred actually to have sold this house and moved, and I was hoping that my son would be excited at maybe having a fresh start somewhere. And since that wasn't the case, we stopped all conversation about selling the house and moving. And my husband is getting a fair split of everything. So for those of you concerned for my husband, I understand, and I know that there are a lot of people that do get screwed over in divorces, and no one wins. There is no winning in this, but hopefully there is an element of healing and moving on, and finding a measure of happiness for both of us, including 3 of us, including my son. So thank you for taking the time to comment. Some people I've talked to about my divorce think that it is a terrible thing, and some people think it's a wonderful thing. And in this case, it is really a wonderful thing. If you ask my soon-to-be ex-husband, he might not agree. Certainly wouldn't have 3, 4, 5 months ago, and he might not agree for another 2, 4, or 6 months from now. But ultimately, it really is a good thing for both of us. Because really, being married, he wanted to live a single man's life. And now that he is living on his own, he gets to watch TV when he wants to, and he doesn't have to do dishes unless he wants to. He doesn't have to mop the floor unless he wants to. He doesn't have to clean a bathroom unless he wants to. So now he feels lonely. No one's telling him or asking him to help out, to pay attention to anyone. And now he feels lonely. Now he needs cataract surgery, and there's no one there to take care of him. If he'd had the cataract surgery 1.5 years ago, someone would have taken care of him. And now he needs it. He can't get his driver's license back. He can't go back to work until he has the cataract surgery. And he wants me to feel sorry for him. He actually asked me to drive down to Oregon to take care of him while he has the surgery. He may have been partially joking, but he was partially serious. So I am just waiting. I have 43 more days until the divorce is final, and I am just waiting for the judge to say I am legally and officially divorced. that that tie has been cut, and I have most certainly already moved on. I am happier than I can ever remember. I'm healing, and I am finding joy and happiness in daily living. Whereas before I was so deep in depression and I was hopeless and I was finding ways to not live. So I have 43 more days, and this divorce is a good thing. And eventually I think he'll agree that it's a good thing for him too. Because I don't want bad things for him. I just don't want his things to be mixed with my things anymore. I want us to live separate lives and find happiness doing it.
I was rejected by a guy in the most embarrassing and humiliating way possible, but still a part of me feels like this was my fault, so I need you guys to let me know what you think. One day, I matched with this guy on Bumble who was very, very handsome. He was a documentary filmmaker, curly brown hair, profile said 6'2". At the time, I was going through an identity crisis, so I just so happened to dye my hair back to brunette, although previous to that, I was blonde. I was on this dating app, and unfortunately I hadn't updated any of my photos to reflect the way that I looked, although the photos that I did have were just like taken 2-3 months ago. It's not like my physical appearance looked that different, it's just that my hair color was very different. So me and this guy are literally talking for 2 days, we're hitting it off, the conversation is flowing back and forth, and most of the time guys will just waste your time and not ask you out on a date, or if they ask you out on a date, they'll ask you to like go for a walk in the park. Days after us matching, we are on a date, I meet him for the first time, he's exiting his car, and he's walking towards me, and as he's walking towards me, I could tell he has like a confused look on his face. And I've been on many dates. I've never been accused of being a catfish. I've never had somebody disappointed when they saw me in real life. In fact, I've had guys tell me that they are surprised and that I actually look better in person, that I look better than in my photos. He gives me a hug, we walk to the restaurant, we sit down, we're ordering drinks, and he's just asking him random questions, trying to make small talk, and he is just being very, very odd and standoffish. And at one point during the date, he looks at me and he says, "You look a little different than on your photos." I was like, yeah, I actually dyed my hair. I went darker. I've been a brunette in the past. Like, this is actually close to my natural hair color. And I was just tired of the blonde because it was ruining my hair. And then he tells me that he thinks that that is actually misleading and that I should have updated my dating profile photos to match how my hair looks now. So then I ask him, well, would that have changed your opinion of me? Would that have made you not want to go out on a date? And he kind of laughs and shrugs it off and says, well, you know, I do like blondes. And that just like rubbed me the wrong way. Anyway, we end up splitting some appetizers on a couple of drinks, and I end up leaving and thinking to myself, like, this is probably not going to go anywhere because that guy was super, super weird. I have no plans on texting this guy, but then I get a text from him the next evening. He sends me a whole paragraph that I never even asked for. In his paragraph, he tells me that he thinks that it's not right, that I misrepresented myself on my dating profile, and that if he's being completely 100% transparent, he is into blondes, that is his specific type, and he does not prefer brunettes. I never replied to him. I ended up blocking his number. But guys, there was a part of me that almost got my butt into my car and went to Sally Beauty Supply to get some bleach because I was so insecure at that point. When I look back on it though, did I make a mistake? Did I misrepresent myself? Did I catfish this guy? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments.
And that wraps up today's episode of Manosphere Daily. If you enjoyed the content, give it a like. Be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified as soon as a new video is out. Share your thoughts in the comments below. See you all tomorrow.